video has its place.
There you go. Okay, so I'm in Soma, San Francisco, and I just walked by the bar, and I noticed this gentleman has a Surface laptop and is doing a drawing. And so to my amazement, I stopped and kind of butted in to interrupt his day. And he's going to do a quick interview with us. So, what's your name?
My name is Hamilton Cline.
Hamilton Cline. And what's the backstory with sitting at the bar drawing your character there?
Well, I actually work across the street at the Academy of Art, and I'm just taking a break right now, trying out some new drawing programs. I like to, because I'm a teacher, I like to try out all the different programs that are available, and I actually just purchased this for my artistic purposes.
Define just. Like today, this month?
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks. So what is this you're working on?
I'm literally just trying out this program. This program is called Sketchy Ball. I met the two guys who make it, and they were like, you should try out our app. And I was like, really? I'll give your app a try.
So they wrote this app specifically for Microsoft Surface?
This is, if you walk into the Surface store, this app is available on that thing. And the day that I was there, they happened to be in town for a convention. They're not even from San Francisco.
Oh, that was the Build conference.
It was, it was a random chance that I met them, and that they were cool dudes. They were like, you should try out my app, and so I'm trying it out.
So can you show us some strokes or how you've adjusted something, even if it's off the side, to not mess with your art?
So this is probably way too technical, but one of the things that I like about this program is that it's built around tools that are meant to work like real tools. So you pick a tool like their thin line pen, and it's meant to be the thin line pen. Pick a tool like their brush right here, and suddenly I've got much more brush-like strokes. Pick a tool called their chalk tool, and now I've got a thing that looks like it breaks up like real chalk would on a real surface.
And how is the sensitivity, like with the marker tool, can you get like to a point as the pen is lifting off the page?
So
like a brush stroke kind of thing?
Can I curse?
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
That's fair.
So, for instance, this brush right here, if I set it to, I don't know, quite large. I haven't really tested the limits of it, but I can get a thin line or I can get a very thin line.
Oh, wow, look at that. Like a calligraphy
And
corner.
now, I don't know if you have ever tried one of these pens before, but one of the problems when people try to draw on tablets like an iPad or most phones or something like that is that they're having to use a third-party pen that usually lags really hard. Now, if you watch this, there is, even when I'm drawing very fast, there is almost zero lag between me drawing and that happening.
And there's undo, so you can get rid of all of that stuff?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So can I give you a challenge?
Sure.
Let's say just to see how it's really done, if you wanted to do like a hoop earring on this character, what would you do?
I mean, I would come in here and I would draw something like this. I could then make sure...
Wait, what was the finger gesture you just did with this color triangle?
So this is just a tool that I can use to activate colors. Yeah, it's color picker. It's got a bunch of other tools on it. But basically, one of the neat things about this app is that it's able to hide everything about the user interface so that you can just focus in on the art. And so I can be drawing with one color 1 second, and then another color another second. Right now, this is obviously just black and white, so I'm not worried too much about it.
And is it layered so that you're not erasing what's happening underneath?
It could be layered. I just did this right on the same layer.
All right.
And I'm afraid that I'm gonna fail your thing to really make anything interesting. But
no, that's beautiful. That's exactly what
I would draw something in there.
That's amazing. So, are you normally with no technology on paper? Is that normally what you would do, is just grab a canvas and like real pens and real art? Or what's your background?
My background is in pencil art, so I did caricatures and theme parks for a bunch of years. These days, when I first moved to San Francisco, I kept a sketch pad with me and I drew on the BART every day.
Yeah.
Last year, I got a Samsung Note and I started drawing on the BART every day. Couple articles got written about me, the guy that draws on the BART.
Oh, so you had a drawing experience on the phone originally?
Yes.
So how is that compared to this?
So this phone is relatively big in terms of phone. We call this a phablet, right?
Yeah.
But it also comes with a pressure-sensitive stylus on it. And on this thing, just as well as this one, although on a smaller surface, I can draw with a very large pressure-sensitive brush at almost the exact same lag speed.
I can see the delay, right?
There's a tiny delay on this one, that is correct. Now, however, the reason that delay is happening is because this canvas on this phone is actually much bigger than the canvas here on this computer.
Because the
even though
pixel
it looks
density.
smaller. Yeah.
Right.
So this phone is trying a little bit harder to do a little bit more than this one over here. But actually that's because of this particular program. This particular program wants you to stay sketchy, so they don't really want you to work on too big of a canvas because it would lag down and slow.
So I noticed what you just did there with your finger touch to adjust your paper, to kind of move your page around.
Oh yeah.
So the app is certainly responsive to touch, which is different than pen. And now I noticed on your phone, you had to change mode.
Not really.
Well, you did something up here that...
Right there, this was open. This lets me do, puts my, like this one also hides all the tools when I click this little button over here.
Yeah.
This one also does that. There's a little button that hides and shows the tools on the side. And I just wanted to hide that for a second. Now, I will say this. This particular program, ArtFlow, love it. It's only available on Android. However, one thing that I do miss is that you can't rotate this canvas. Whereas, as you can see here, if I want to get in at this angle, I just rotate it.
Just like a regular piece of paper where you'd want to move it.
I could rotate this.
Oh, sure.
But something about being able to just do this is intuitively easier.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to move your art board, you just want to move the canvas that's on your art board, like a regular piece of paper.
Like a regular piece of paper on the desk.
Right.
Imagine that my computer is the desk and the canvas is the paper, right?
Right.
I don't want to move the whole desk every single time.
Yeah.
The desk, I want it to be stationary
That's exactly
and flat.
right.
Yeah.
So, how much was this device?
Which one?
The tablet?
The tablet, I bought the least expensive high-end Surface 4. So this was about $1,800 for the i7 Surface 4 with only 8 gigs of RAM.
Okay.
Now they have tiers and like sets and all that kind of stuff. And then this is only a Note 3, so this is actually a really old Note. They're on Note 5, Note 6 will come out at the end of the year.
So with your Surface, do you have buyer's remorse where you think you should have spent more or less? Like, because they also have an i5.
So the only thing
cheaper.
The i5 is cheaper, but I actually needed this to be able to run large canvases and large brushes.
So you think the memory will help?
Art. Memory is actually not my problem. Processing power is my problem.
So that
when it comes to memory would allow me to have more layers or more programs open.
Yeah.
But when it comes to processing power, that allows me to process the brush moving around on the screen. And that has nothing to do with
larger strokes. Just so you need that faster i7.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for letting me barge in on your afternoon.
Awesome.